spotlight, hit that light. No cap, no filter, we take flight. Saints on the rise, got that energy. Tune in to our podcast, feel that synergy. New Orleans pride, we never fall. Subscribe to the vibes, we gon' ball. Subscribe, hit that bell, join the hype train. No cap, no filter, we breaking every chain. In the heart of the city, Saints reign supreme. Live the dream, we living it clean. Yo, Bean Camara run that play. Crystal Lava flying, making waves every day. Take some heels, switch it up, always on the go. Cam joining the fans, putting on a show. Doing Mario with time, bringing that heat. Shaheen's got the speed, can't accept defeat. Subscribe, hit that bell, join the hype train. No cap, no filter, we breaking every chain. In the heart of the city, Saints reign supreme. Live the dream, we living it clean. So stay tuned, don't miss this ride. With the Saints by our side, we take pride.
All right, what up, Who That Nation? This is No Cap, No Filter Saints. I'm your host, Marley G. Back at y'all another episode, and got my main man B up in here, got my main man Marlon up in here, man. And today is another Saints national holiday. I done already declared it. May 10th is stamped right there with November the 4th. Man, we off with a new era out with the old in with the new. I'm excited, man. Derek Carr has retired officially. Like it is already stamped. Saints podcast went crazy right now. Saints Twitter was in a frenzy. It was spreading like a wildfire. I'm excited, man. I'm ready to embrace the new era. That dark cloud that was just over the organization, over the team, over the fans' head, it's just gone now. 2 down, 1 more to go. Man, we're gonna get into y'all opinions of everything that's going on right now, but I'm gonna go ahead on and start this stream off with taking my first out of 4 shots. Dedicated to Derek Carr departure. I'm gonna go ahead on and take this little shot right here to kill you real quick, and we're gonna get it popping. After I take this shot, Marley, you can go ahead on and start us off and let me know what your thoughts was about the whole situation, and we could get it popping, man. Shouts up to Derek Carr departure, man. This is the Saints national holiday here.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and get it started. When I seen it this morning, I was shocked, but it was a good type of shot. Um, I'm just glad that it's finally over. As somebody like me that was very vocal about never wanting Derek Carr and how it was going to be a disaster, it was a disaster. It was a waste of 2 years, but it's 2 years we can't get back. A lot of people, they lost a connection with the Saints, but it's like after today, you feel like, man, look, I can root for them guys again. Like again, I don't just me speaking overall, I don't think we're gonna be a good team this year, but I can support that team with these young guys at the helm and Shuck, most likely Shuck, potentially like a slight chance that is Rattler if Shuck not ready, but it's just gonna be so much more interested to watch like a young team and just get all that bad shit out the building. I mean, we still stuck with the GM, but that's probably something we can't get over. But we got Dennis Allen out, and we got Derek Carr out, and now we can just move forward with Kellen Moore and hopefully build something, and hopefully in 2027 we can we can be something. But just gotta we I didn't think that it would come like this, but it came and it had to happen this way. And he forced a issue and he left and retired, and it forced them into new beginnings, which we've been as fans we all been begging for. So that's the great thing about today. So that's pretty much all the thoughts I got so far.
Yeah,
Before
but
y'all can get
Marlon,
into it.
but Marlon, you a real big numbers guy about the salary cap. How did you feel about the money that we're going to recoup from the whole situation?
Oh, that's beneficial. Like the cap, I know they got like if you get on those websites, they've got the cap at like 295. so far. So they saying the Saints 42 million. The cap probably gonna be around like 305, 310. Say if it's like 310, so they like 20, they really like 28 or yeah, like 27 over. So like you getting 30 million. He had like a dead cap hit next year, like 59 million. So you taking 25 off that. Then you got like cap that you're gonna be able to carry over off the relief this year. Because factor in the rookie class and then the relief you're gonna get June 1 with him, you probably looking at like 50 million in cap, and then we not even talking about Taysom Hill, who can be cut potentially. That's another like 10 million in relief. So say if that all that happened, that's 60 million. Even if you sign some guys, you ain't spending too much money. So you rolling over like a lot of money. So like we probably out of cap hell. It's like we finally out of cap hell. We can just be a normal bad team. We not a bad team that's spending like we like the Chiefs or something. The
Mm,
Chiefs don't even spend like that.
mm,
Like so we can just be a team like if you got a cap, if your cap situation looks like the Saints, you need to be in like the flow need to be a heartbreaking like divisional a loss in the divisional round, not like 5-12 or 4-12, like the area that we in right now. So like we finally can just be like a normal team in 2027. Like even next year, we're gonna be able to sign like a we don't gotta restructure, we don't gotta restructure a guy like Ruiz. We don't
mm.
gotta we could potentially trade a Paul Granderson and stuff like that. We don't have to keep restructuring like players who like I think Granderson a good player, but like if you want them, he expendable. Like you don't want to be stuck with players. So like we don't have to be like locked into players like that. And that's like finally you got like some freedom. Like 2027, that's when it's really up. But like no hell, we can sign like a great free agent next year, potentially with that money. That's how I look at it.
Mm. Yeah, man, that was some good insight right there, Marlon. Now we got to get to B, man. Welcome back to Twitter B. Everybody been missing you, bro. The Saints, who that nation been wondering where you at. You've been on hiatus, but you back, bro. You had your first tweet today, ironically, as soon as Derek Carr retired, but it's all good, man. B, bro, this is a Saints national holiday. I'm already declaring it. The boy then already had renewed his tires, from hitting a pothole. He's embedded into the city already. He played Boosie for his first Instagram post. He played Lil Wayne for his second Instagram post. I think he's learning from Derek Carr's mistakes. He's not eating Chipotle. You know what I'm saying? He's going to locally owned restaurants. Like, I think the boy is learning from Derek Carr's mistake, and this is a whole new era. Dare I say, I might buy season tickets?
Man,
I don't know, man.
got
Just when
my,
I thought I
email.
was out, I'm right back in, man. What you think about this whole ordeal, B?
I got my email, bro. They just hit me up asking me, do I want my season tickets? And I kind of hit pause on the email and I ain't answer them. I ain't say yeah or no, but now I'm starting to feel a little bit different, man. Like it's crazy because I want to kind of piggyback off of what Marlon was saying just now, man. It's that the cap relief is a beautiful thing, but to add to the cap relief, you are now, because you use all 9 draft picks, and let's say they do make the roster, now you have 9 young guys on your roster to add with the young guys you already have, and they'll be ushering out more of the older guys, as Rainey was speaking of, like getting rid of your Taystums. You're probably looking at Tyrann Matthews last year. You're probably looking at, depending on how Cam restructures his contract, because I think Cam is a restructure. If Cam gets back next year and say, look, I just want to play ball. I want to chase down the Saints all-time sack leader record. So I'll take the vet minimum to come back. That might be the only way you see Cam come back. But you're looking at like the DeMario's gone and stuff like that, man. The Nathan Shepard might not make it this year. Colin Saunders might not make it this year. So with that being said, you ushering in a lot of young talent. And you'll have all your draft picks last year. And if I ain't mistaken, next year. And if I ain't mistaken, I want to say they're gonna get a 4th round draft pick for Paulson Adebo,
Yeah, you are.
as a
You
comp
are.
pick.
We getting a fort for him.
Yeah.
They
So
finally learned how to play the comp system right. So
right. So if they get a comp pick for Paulson Adebo, now you got an additional 4th in order to add to the arsenal you already have. And they might make moves in order, like you said, you mentioned trading a Carl Granderson. That might be a 6th round draft pick or something like that. Maybe, depending on where you fall because of your record this year, you have an early top 5 pick, and you might want to trade back into the 9-10 range and add additional picks. Man, I love what I love the position they're in. My problem is that the same dude is still a decision maker. So I'm not ready to fully jump on board just yet because, Cocaine Mickey is still in charge. And with
Mhm.
that being said, man, I'm with you on the idea of Tyler Shuck. I wasn't in love with the draft pick from the beginning. I kind of thought that they should kind of ride it out, but I see a young, healthy Carson Wentz when I watch his film, and I legitimately watch film. I don't watch highlights. So I see a young Carson Wentz, which isn't a bad thing because prior to the injury, Carson Wentz looked like he was on a trajectory to be a bad boy. He was on an MVP season in that second year he was in the league. So I mean, if that's what Shuck can potentially be, the Saints might have one in the second round with a young core of talent around them in Olave, in a Shaheed. You're going to eventually replace a Brandon Cooks and stuff like that, man. So I just like where the Saints are if they can continue to build. And it's kind of what Marlon said. I'm on the same page. I don't give a damn if they go 5-12 this year. You look, if your 2 wins are beating Atlanta, you split with Tampa, you split with Carolina, and you win one you shouldn't win, I'm good with that. So I mean, I'm good with a 5-12 season. I'm perfectly fine with it. 2026, they'll be playing in France, I believe, man. So they'll have an international game as well, which should bode well for the Saints as far as having extra rest, the potential second bye week. Man, look, sign me up for everything. Just get me past this year with no Derek Carr, and I'm happy. And guess what? That car trouble is no longer my problem. The lemon is gone.
Yeah, man. I say it all the time, man. Derek Carr and Dennis Allen, they robbed me of my fanhood. They literally got into my fanhood and commandeered my vehicle and told me go have a nice day. It was just so miserable those 2.5 seasons with them dudes in the building. Now that they're finally gone, we just got to worry about Mickey. But at least on the field, this is a fresh start. Like we really in uncharted waters right now. A rookie, young, offensive minded head coach, a rookie quarterback that we drafted, the most high drafted quarterback since Archie Manning. Like this is new territory for us right now. It's a reason for hope. It's a reason to be excited. Right now, shoot, you look at Tyler Shuck and this dude looking like Captain America. It's almost like he's that ideal, type quarterback. Just off the way he just looks, off of aesthetics, but he's still gonna have to go out there and go show and prove, and the good thing about it, I think the wild card in all this, we still got our first round pick. So if we bottom out and all else fails, this is a 2026 loaded with potentially 5 QBs going in the first round, probably. It depends on if Archie Manning coming out or not, but I see it as a win-win. I really see it as a win-win. But Brian, am I eating the cheese too much? Am I drinking the Kool-Aid too much? Are Saints fans just on too much of a cloud nine? Because I'm starting to see a lot of us tweeting Mike Thomas come back home.
I don't think anybody is can be too excited right now because within less than a year, Dennis Allen and Derek Carr are gone. So I don't think anybody can be too excited about what's going on. I think we're right where we should be, and it's exactly what you said. It's about hope for the future. Nobody is predicting the Saints to be all of a sudden hooting and high five and talking about Super Bowl bound. We ain't on that delusional wagon right now. We are on a position of, you know what? Dennis is gone. Derek is gone. It's a fresh start. Let's just enjoy what we have right now. Even in most fans I see saying is like we're all on the same page. Even if it's a bad season this year, we're willing to endure it, which is what we have been screaming, the three of us for sure, for almost 2 years now. So during the Dennis Allen tenure, it is a perfect time to rebuild because the fan base is understanding right now. We get it. This team is ass, and we're okay with that. You don't have to try to lie to us and tell us you're going to be competing for Super Bowls and championships. We are perfectly fine doing a rebuild, soft rebuild, full rebuild, whatever you want to call it. But we understand that this is the perfect time to say, you know what? We might have to take a step or two back. But when we bounce back, we are going to be, we're going to be in contention to be one of the teams that we should be. We're going to bring back the golden era. And that's why I don't understand the reluctance for Mickey Loomis to just come out and say, look, we're trying to win. But we understand it's going to be difficult because we have a young team with a new head coach, a new defensive coordinator, and potentially a rookie quarterback. But we're going to continue to build a winner for this city because we know what it takes to win. Perfectly fine with that. Just stop trying to tell me you was gonna win with Derek Carr and Dennis Allen. I don't want to hear that shit because we already see the proof is in the pudding. It's not there. It was never going to be there. You had two perennial losers trying to lead a franchise to winning. Not gonna happen.
Marlon, I declared today a Saints holiday. I took 4 shots in honorary of Derek Carr. I did it all on stream right there. I'm feeling good right now. I'm a pop. I'm gonna go ahead on and put some on the grill later. But at the same time, is this a breakout year for Chris Olave coming up?
I mean, I still think like the offense kind of. I think, truthfully, I think he been in shackles, kind of not to his own fault. Like the way the team been built for a long time. I think like when he got here, he was supposed to partner with Michael Thomas. He was going to take over from Michael Thomas, which he did technically take over. But you still want that level, like you want that body type in the room with him. I think the Saints got lucky that like Shaheed was able to emerge, and I feel like Shaheed is more like I feel like Shaheed is a three, is a perfect three. I think he a low end two because of his route running is just not up to. He need to be a better route runner at his size, and he don't have that route running ability. But I think if Shaheed was like the two, I think it would all work if the Saints had like an elite tight end, even if Olave was the one, but they don't have that. But like I think Olave is like a I think Devontae Smith is better than him, but I think he's a similar player to that. I think Devontae Smith's a one. Now I don't think he has the highest ceiling of like the AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase level ones, but I think he's a one. But I think the Saints kind of like they still been failing because they haven't like added the pieces to the room that they need to make the whole thing go. Like I don't think the Saints wide receiver core sucks. I don't. But the problem when we all say the Saints need a wide receiver, like you need to complete the room, and they just never completed the room. That's the problem. But I think he can have. Look, if he stay healthy, I know his baseline. His baseline to me, if he stay healthy, which we got truthfully with the concussions thing, like all those concussions that he took, like the fold that's been documented, like he can't control like them hits. Like so I mean we can call him injury prone for the concussions, but like you not like it's not like he invited the concussion. No, and the only one I would have said that like that that he maybe could have controlled, and that was more of the play. That was more because the defender lowered his helmet, lowered his crown was the Tampa play. But like all the other stuff, like dude, if that was Michael Thomas, catching that ball against Carolina, getting hit like that. I don't care if he's 6'3", 220. He was gonna get a concussion. Like if that was that play where he got hurt last year against Atlanta and the ball is thrown where you gotta go up for a circus catch and get flipped in the air. Like if you land on your head, you just land on your head. So I mean, I think if he can just stay healthy from that standpoint, I think his baseline is a 1,100-yard receiver. But I do think that he can do more if the offense like was had more complimentary pieces around. But like I said, I think he's just a good player, and I think we just gotta add more pieces to the offense. I don't think that player is really available this year, but I thought it was available in the draft, but they didn't go that route. So
All right, B, you just a dude that hears stuff from time to time. Is there anything you've been hearing about big body wide receivers, or we just got to roll with the hand that we're dealt? A lot of people are happy across the league if you're a Saints fan, but I think one of the most happy people in America right now is Chris Olave. I don't care what type of political correctness he'll say in the interview and take the high road. I really don't think he like the Derek Carr. Is this dude bound for a breakout season, or we need to go add more ammunition to this offense?
I don't think necessarily a breakout season, but I agree with Marlon. I think he's going to be somewhere around what we've seen when he was healthy and productive, right? Somewhere around 1,000 yards, 1,100 yards, somewhere around there. I don't see him being necessarily, one of those 15, 1,600-yard dudes, double-digit touchdowns. I don't think that's who he is, and I don't think I don't think the offense is built for him to be that. But I agree with Marlon, man. I think he'll be productive. I think he'll bounce back because the concussions don't necessarily worry me from like Marlon said, from being injury prone. The concussions worry me because he's basically one hit away from being retired. He's basically Brandon Cooks before Brandon Cooks, but it was almost a similar trajectory. Brandon suffered a lot of concussions early, then he went a while without having any, and now he is a 31. Here he is a 31-year-old receiver in the NFL, and if you would have looked at it after his first couple of years, you would have been like, man, this dude's gonna be out of the league after he takes another hit. So it's very similar to what Brandon went through, and I think that's why maybe it's a great idea that the Saints have Brandon Cooks, not necessarily from a on field, producing standpoint, but for just from a, hey, Chris, look, I've been there, man. You can bounce back and have a long career as well. Here's how I did it, and that veteran leadership might be able to help out in that regard, at least for motivational purposes, if nothing else. That being said, as far as me hearing things from time to time, I know they had Peoples Jones in for a tryout. I think they're gonna end up signing him soon, man. That they're just like the Steelers right now in regards to Aaron Rodgers. They're waiting because they have a guy that they want in Keenan Allen, but Keenan Allen just went through a rebuild. It's a question of whether or not he wants to do that yet again for a second time because he just went through that with Chicago. Young quarterback, young team, new coach developing, took his money and went there, didn't have the production. Amari Cooper is not that dude for you, so you can go ahead on and kill that one. So, I mean, it's either Keenan Allen or it's nothing. And by nothing, I mean, it might be like a Peoples Jones. You might bring in somebody like that. Potentially, if Gabe Davis doesn't get signed this week, maybe you can kind of convince him. But as of right now, I'm expecting them to sign Peoples Jones, roll with him, and just hope for a veteran makes it, or Keenan Allen, when I say makes it, mean make it through cuts or something like that, a veteran gets cut. Maybe you get lucky and Keenan Allen at the last minute says, I don't want to go through OTAs and minicamp, but I'll sign for training camp so I can come on and be with a squad. Maybe you get lucky in that regard, but Derek Carr just retired. It wouldn't surprise me to see Aaron Rodgers say he's out, and it wouldn't surprise me to see Keenan Allen say, you know what, I'm gonna sit back and just wait for a contender to call me. So I haven't heard anything as far as there's a name that the Saints could trade for. There's a name that the Saints can sign that's gonna make everything better. Because truthfully, I'm not sure Keenan Allen can do that. So I know that's the name that they like, but that's not necessarily a guy that 100% is signing with the Saints. More or less, right now, it just looks like he's gonna wait. So for me, I think it's kind of what Marlon just mentioned, bro. It's the idea of the Saints have to tighten up that room one way or the other, and you can't do it because Taysom Hill possibly could be gone if not, no matter what the situation may be, whether retirement through injury on the pup list, he has to miss almost half the season. Taysom Hill can't be counted on this year. So you can't count on him in the tight end room. Foster Moreau is what he is, man. I'm like, he all right, but if you close your eyes, maybe he'll get you 500 yards. And Jawan Johnson is the master of the illusion. He was basically
Mhm.
the tight end version of Derek Carr. He's a guy that when the chips are down and you need him, weeks 1 through 12, he's nowhere to be found. But then in weeks, 13 through 17, when there's nothing to play for, he puts up his numbers. So, I mean, you need a tight end, and the Saints don't have that. So you'll never be able to truly unlock what it is that Chris Olave can do.
We got 17 people up in the building watching right now. If you like the stream, go ahead on and hit the like button. Go ahead on and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Be you cooking right now. Let me go ahead on and ask you this. More Tutties basically came out and said, man, this is going to be a legit quarterback competition. Do you call cap, or can you see a situation where if Spence Rattler legitimately looking better than him in the preseason, he wins the job?
Y'all know who Corey with the K is?
Yes.
The New Orleans comedian. You ever
Heaven
see like
Snow.
when he's doing when he doing those skits with Jon Snow, the red beans and rice dude, that
Mhm.
big ass cap that he wear?
Yeah.
That's what Kellen Moore is right now, talking about Spencer Rattler has a chance, man. Look, there's a reason why they went and got Tyler Shough. There's a reason why they got him. Now, does that just preclude Spencer from being out of it 100%? No, but it's like 99.9%, and it's not looking good, for Spence at this point. Not for any reason that Spencer's a garbage quarterback, anything like that. Strictly because you drafted your guy. Spencer was Clint Kubiak's dude. There's a reason why Spencer jumped ahead of Jake. Same thing is happening right now with Tyler. Tyler is Kellen Moore's guy. He's going to get every opportunity to fail before you put Spencer Rattler in there, and that's exactly what it's going to take. It's going to take Tyler going out there and looking absolutely abysmal, because if he's just up and down, his 5 plays he looks great, 3 plays he looks bad, they're going to put him out there and they're going to roll with him. And that's why you see right now, you see a guy like Calvin Banks, who out of OTAs, a rookie mini camp right now, you're hearing that they're lining them up all over the place. But there's a reason why, because you could easily just slide him in at left tackle and say, let's go. They're putting him all over the place because they're trying to get their best guys on the offensive line at one time, which could potentially be 4 first-round picks and a second-round pick all across the offensive line right now, because they plan on starting a rookie quarterback. They're not doing that for Spencer Rattler. They're doing that because they want to give Tyler Shough every opportunity to say, you know what, we understand what your weakness is. You can't play under pressure. So we're going to try to limit as much pressure as possible by putting the best offensive line we can in front of you, and we're going to roll with you. And we'll live and die with you as our QB, however it goes. Because again, they're not expecting a championship year this year. Kellen Moore might have one of the easiest schedules, but he's also got it on easy street because nobody expects him to win. He's playing with house money. So
Mhm.
for me, yeah, I'm definitely looking at it and saying it's not only cap, it's a big ass cap. I mean, you could probably fit 12 heads up in that sucker, man. Ain't happening.
Yeah, you knew it was cap when they named Jake Hayner. Like, come on, bro. Like, we wasn't born yesterday. Like, it's a 98% chance that Shuck is your quarterback this year. He gonna get all the starts. He getting all the preferential first team snaps. Now Spencer might get some run because you always get the backup, get some run with the ones or with guys in the ones. But yeah, a 26-year-old that you just drafted, he has to start. Cause that's like you got shit on your face if he don't start.
Absolutely.
That's,
And let me add to that real quick, Brainy. I don't mean to cut your knowledge, bro. It's the idea of Jake Hayner, when they said that, it was an absolute joke because the Saints need a veteran quarterback. They're going to sign a veteran soon. It's not going to be a Ben DiNucci. They're probably going to sign
yeah.
a veteran. Like let's say Gardner Minshew, Teddy Bridgewater, somebody like that. They're going to sign somebody like that to get them a veteran in the building, and then we'll see Jake Hayner get cut. So my guess is going to be Tyler Shuck is going to be QB1. Spencer Rattler will be QB2, and they'll have a veteran in as QB3. But technically, if anything happens, the veteran is probably going in before Spence goes in.
You can see could you see them getting Jameis again? Because a lot of people think he can get cut because they truthfully don't need Jameis because you got Russell Wilson, then you got Russell Wilson's probably gonna start the season. You have Dart, they'll take over during the season. Then you got the Italian mafia looking kid,
Oh
Tommy
DeVito.
yeah,
DeVito.
That and he
Yeah,
at least
Bill Cutler.
he at least a third string. He at least a third string quarterback in NFL. Like I ain't no big fan of him, but he a third string quarterback from what I've seen. And like you don't really need Jameis.
Now I don't think Jameis gonna get cut, but I'd love for him to come back if he does. I mean, I'd
Yeah.
be perfectly fine with that. I don't think Jameis is gonna get cut because Russ can't be counted on to fill out a whole season at this point. And I think that's why they're not gonna cut it. Now, if anything happens to Russ, you're gonna put Jackson out there. I don't think it's gonna be Jameis, but I think because Russ can't be counted on, I think they keep him. I think they probably gonna stash Cutler because they do like him a lot, but he's not. He's never gonna be their guy. He's not that. I think he kind of came in on caught fire a little bit, and then all of a sudden I think he's gonna be like one of those guys that not necessarily. I don't want to disrespect what happened with Lynn Sanity and stuff like that, but you know how sometimes these guys catch fire, they play well, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden you realize that it was all smoke and mirrors, and it was just that you caught him off guard because they didn't have film on him. I think that's the same thing that's gonna happen. I think if they had to start, Vil Cutler or whatever the hell his name is, man. I think if they had to put him out there for 2, 3 games at this point, he looked like absolute trash out there because I think now the book is out on him and how you stop him. I don't think he's
Hmm.
going to be one of those guys that stays. So for me, I think you'll see Jameis stick around, even if it's from the idea of we're going to stash Vil Cutler. We're going to put him on the practice squad. We're going to hide him or whatever like that. Fake an injury, put him on pup list. They'll find a way to keep him around. But I think Jameis, Russ, and Dart are going to be your quarterbacks over there in New York. But if Jameis is out, hell yeah, the Saints should run to sign him and bring him back.
Hmm.
Yeah, that'll definitely have some fanfare right there. Uh, Shout out to the Keeping It Real Saints podcast. My man Dolph over there, he does a great job. They had somebody come in the comments in his podcast earlier because damn near every Saints podcast did a video today. I was at work, but I listened to a majority of them. But somebody came in the comment section and said, "Okay, well, who gets number 4 now since Derek Carr gone?" And he was lobbying for Devin
Neal.
Devin Neal to get the number 4 jersey. What do you guys think about that?
Let me go first on that. Nobody need to touch that number 4 because we storing it for another 2 years when we draft Jeremiah Smith. That's who gonna wear number 4.
I'm kind of with Marlon on this one. And not from a standpoint of the draft point. I just don't want nobody to wear that full because Derek Carr cursed it. Like let it sit for a little while. Let it marinate. Let it go somewhere, man. Like let it just stay on the cut. You know what? Hell, for a little while, act like it's retired. Nobody can't wear it because you don't need that bad juju on you.
So y'all know I don't really watch college that much. Who's Jeremiah Smith?
Man, that's the nigga at Ohio State, number 4. That's a man child. That's like we talking like this how dudes. If you ain't watched college football, this is how we was talking about Julio Jones and AJ Brown in 2008,
Hmm.
where
You knew
you
it.
knew for a certain, you knew for a fact they was top 5 picks, but they just have to stay in college for 2 years. Like I
Mm,
know for a fact that Jeremiah Smith right now, for my money, how I like my receivers. I got 7 receivers in the NFL over him. He the 8th best wide receiver in the world. He just happened to play in the lower level right now.
damn, he living
Yeah,
like that.
he a dog. He a dog.
Yeah, and it's dog. It's 6'3", 263. It's basically like a Julio Jones, Andre Johnson clone body type, and then he got NFL blood because like Geno Smith is cousin, so he been around this shit his whole life.
Mm, okay. I'm liking the sound of that because I've been seeing some people say we gonna get that safety, that real good ass
And
safety. I forget
and
his name.
oh, and that safety, his brother, his dad played in the league. His brother playing the league for the coach. His brother good. The dude Josh Downs, like
Mm,
Yeah.
that safety,
yeah.
He like he one of them. Like that's an easy evaluation. You can just watch a minute of the highlight tape. You can go like, bro, that's probably one of the 10 best safeties in football. Like I said, he just happened to play in a lower level right now. Like it's just easy evaluations. Like when you watch Jamar Chase in 2019, you just knew that's easily one of the best wide receivers in the world. He just played in a low. He just got to play college football right now. That's how I feel watching them two guys.
Okay. I'm gonna be sure to keep a lookout for that name because I damn sure would love one of them on our team right now. Um, B, let me ask you this. A lot of people are saying, uh, Derek Carr, a lot of people don't have a lot of good fanfare with him right now. A lot of people hate him. He's America's most wanted in Saints fans book right now. But a lot of people are giving him a shout out because they feel like he did a solid to the team by retiring and letting us get recoup that 30 million. Was that a solid he did for us, or was that all business? Was that like a little, a business deal Mickey Loomis cooked up?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's some give and take on either side. Look, the Saints had Derek Cole what they wanted him under out there. They could hold him hostage. They didn't have to let him move on. And I also believe that Derek Cole didn't get hurt trying to ramp himself up, trying to get ready for the season. I think the Saints knew that as well, and they could have went after his the signing bonus that they gave him. So as a win-win, the Saints basically said, "Look, we'll let you keep the 10 mil we already gave you as a roster bonus, but in that regard, you got to do us a solid as well, and you got to go ahead on and retire, bro, because you need a surgery. You're not going to be able to play." And because of that, it's look, it's you scratch my back, I scratch yours, and type of mentality and the idea of you take the 10 mil, we bid you a due, we'll make everybody. That's why if you seen it, like what was the quote that came out not long ago, like the Ian Rappaport that Derek Carr dipped in and he met with Saints officials. That was the meeting that they had. It was the idea of look, how do we save face and make everybody look good in this situation? You negotiate, we negotiate, and this is the outcome. Keep your 10 mil. We'll go ahead on and retire. We'll try to make it seem like, we wanted you all along and everything like that. We'll try to make everybody look good in the situation. But realistically speaking, we had you by the balls and you were going to be able to do nothing anyway.
Now, this is the $1 million question. Not that I think you give a fuck or anything, but will he still play football again?
I, I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna play. I think he might try to come back next year. Me personally. Not,
Yo,
but it's not gonna. The Saints just gonna. They just gonna let him out his rights, and he'll just be a free agent. I don't truthfully. I think that what I think really. I think that this is gonna be end up being a messy situation because I don't think if he really has a messed up shoulder, I don't think he did. I don't think the injury, whatever it is, it didn't happen in the Saints uniform, and you can go after money like that when it's like shit off the field, and that's what I really think it is. Me personally.
that's exactly what happened. Whatever he did not take place on the
Yeah,
field, and
it
that's why
didn't
the
take.
Saints were able to do it.
Yeah, it didn't take place in their building. It didn't take place. It took place off the field, like an accident or something. Because shit happen all the time. Like in basketball, Markel Fultz, when he got drafted one, and Markel Fultz deserved to be the number 1 pick, even over like Jason Tatum. But when they asked like what happened, dude, a lot of people know he fell off like a dirt bike. or like a four wheeler. That's why his shot and he never became the player he was supposed to come. Like shit like that. But the Philly just they didn't want it like out publicly, so they kind of like hit it. But that's what happened. But like this because truthfully, bro, like we all got sense. Like if you even if somebody don't like you, like you're not just gonna forfeit $30 million just to forfeit $30 million. Like you're gonna take that 30 million and get that surgery and stay your ass at home and be on IR all year. Like you're not just gonna give up. Nobody giving up 30 million out of the decency of their heart. So he cleared
Especially not
something.
somebody that told you
Yeah,
he wanted more money
yeah.
before.
And he want to, and somebody that said he wanted to be traded. He would work
Yeah,
with you on getting traded.
yeah.
I don't know. I
Outright said
think
he wasn't taking a pay cut. All of these things like that. So yeah, it definitely happened like that. But I don't see him playing again strictly from a standpoint of I do think he needs shoulder surgery. I do think he does. I think he needs it, and I think he can say he can want to rest and rehab all you want to. And look,
Yeah.
as you get older, and I'm finding that out myself, shit don't heal like it used to. It don't heal as fast. It take you a little bit more time. And when you have these injuries that stiffen up like that, those rotator cuff type injuries and stuff like that, man. Like no, man, that shit take him. Like he can try. Now I'll say this: he can try to come back and play next year. But this is what happened this year. And I'm not trying to wish injury on him, but it just was gonna happen. He was gonna get injured no matter what. If his shoulder was somewhat messed up, it was going to get messed up after he took that first real hit. So either way it goes, he would have been out. So nah, I don't see him coming back, man. I think after a year being gone, and look, I'll say this, and I mentioned it earlier as well. If Derek Carr truly went through a situation with his wife and they lost a child, I could definitely see him like feeling like, man, I need more time with my family and stuff like that. I can't do this. My wife went through a miscarriage, and I never wish this on anybody else to even experience, man. If you've never been through a miscarriage or a stillborn birth, man, it'll break you up. And I
Yeah.
personally have been through stillborn, and I've also been through a situation to where one of my boys was actually a twin, and he had to go through the situation. My wife had to go through a situation called twin to twin transfusion syndrome, which is basically like the twins are sharing an umbilical cord, but one is eating more food than the other one, so they're getting the nutrients while the other one isn't. And you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision on if you're going to try to give birth to both or if you're going to try to let one go and keep one. So these are things that you have to go through as a parent, man. So if he went through anything similar to, in his personal life, then I can definitely see him saying, man, look, I've made enough money. I scammed the Saints out of 150 mil, 130 if you want to call it that. So I scammed them out of 120, 130 mil. I could sit back and collect because that's just from the Saints. That's not counting the money I've made off of endorsements, the Raiders, and everybody else. No, I think he's going to, kind of sit back, man, and just enjoy life for a little bit with his kids. And he already moved back to California, so I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I definitely see him happy right now. It seemed like ever since he been to California, he just got a clear mind, a clear head. He seems happy. He has his family out there. I don't think he even just had a for show house out in New Orleans. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, he's doing YouTube videos with his brother. He did an upload today, so he's kind of past football right now. Now he might get back to football, but he's kind of past football. But as far as Mickey Loomis, I don't know, man. The feds might do a sweep on his ass. They might hit his ass with some RICO charges because, I think he got some insurance fraud going on. How you getting all these Saints players to agree with you that they about to retire and the Saints recouping money? I don't know. That seemed fishy to me. But hey, if it helped the team, it helped the team. But I don't think he should have did the restructure in the first place. So a lot of people praising Mickey, but at the same time, don't forget, Mickey shouldn't have put us in the first place. But I don't
I
know,
don't
like
think
y'all say, maybe he did have something happen outside of football after he did the restructure. So we don't know.
I don't think Mickey should get any praise in this.
Mm.
Like, I think this is all luck. Like, it's nothing like, oh, Mickey, yeah, this is clearly like
Hey, you
a,
remember what happened last time Mickey had luck off of injury?
yeah, I'm
He
saying,
won a
no,
Super
no,
Bowl.
it's not, I know, but nothing wrong, but he shouldn't get praise for this. Like, I give him more praise for Drew Brees and making sure that happened than this. Like, I'm not giving you praise for this. Ain't nobody gonna restructure somebody. You restructured the guy without him taking a physical, even though he was quote unquote hurt. Like they just got lucky in this situation, and they should be thankful because truthfully, this decision today with like what all happened, like this literally took a year off their rebuild. Like I can go into 2027, like if they do stuff right, like I said, me personally, I don't think the team gonna be good this year, and I think next year could look something like a mix in 2026, it could look something like a you could be like a version of like Carolina that's a mix of like the Falcons and say that's a 7-10 team, but they tough and they fight. But 2027, like you should be able to try to be make a playoff team. Now we don't know who's gonna be the quarterback by then, but still, like I just think like that decision took like a year off the rebuild today, and that's the true benefit like of everything that happened today.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm a Mullen
Uh,
on that, man. I don't I think Mickey is more lucky than good, and to be honest with you, I don't think he got lucky with Drew. That was all Sean.
hmm. Hmm. That's a statement right there. But
Mhm.
I looked at a lot of Saints content today, man. A lot of Saints podcasters, they were scrambling, getting content out. You know, I think a lot of them did a good job, man. I was at work and I just joked the whole day. But one dude in particular, I was really looking for Matt Moscone. I don't think he did an upload today, so I'm waiting on his response to the news that came out. That's one dude I used to couldn't stand. But in the end, that motherfucker was right about a lot of shit, and he get a lot of flack for being one of the most negative Saints reporters. But you can't call him wrong. But I was looking for one of his uploads, but he didn't do an upload today. But when I did look at his last upload that I looked at, he kind of put things in a different perspective for me. Now, granted, I don't watch college, but they were saying, what would you rather? Take Tyler Shuck at 40 or take one of these other QBs that's most likely not going to be a Joe Burrow or a Jaden Daniels or Andrew Luck. They might not be franchise changing like that, and take one of them at 4. I don't know. I don't know, man, because
Like what this year or coming next year?
coming next year, let's just say supposedly
Oh.
we suck and we got a chance to take one of these quarterbacks. Or let's just say we kind of mid and we could trade up to take one of these quarterbacks. What would you rather take Tyler Shuck at 40 or take one of these quarterbacks at 4 or something? Assuming that Arch Manning just not this guard of a quarterback that like a lot of people are assuming, and he don't come out because he might come out 2027.
So I think the only way Arch come out is it might be he first of all he got to be good, and then second of all it depends on the team. Like I do think that if the Saints had the number one pick, I really do think, and he had a good season, I do think he'd come out. Me personally, even though I know they say the 2 years thing, but it's some other quarterbacks that I like in the draft. Like I know probably the guy right now for me, I like the guy from Clemson. His name Cade Klubnik. And then second for me, I probably like the dude from South Carolina. His name Lenore Sellers. He probably got the highest upside of any of these guys. Young dude, but he actually played. That's the thing. So he got like starts. So you're gonna see a dude, and you're gonna if somebody try to compare like Lenore Sellers to like a Anthony Richardson, this is a dude that's a way better quarterback than Anthony Richardson already, and he's actually played football, which for like them type of quarterbacks that's like based off they like all measurable, like they got like the crazy measurables, like a lot of them dudes got to play football. So I if we had a chance at those two guys, and we say if we had the third pick and they available, man, I'm just taking one of them two and moving off Shuck, like because
I'm gonna
if you
go the
got a top.
opposite direction, man. I'm willing to say I would have gambled on Tyler Shuck or second round quarterback this year, and I would have popped for whatever happens in 2026, 2027. See what's going on. I'm okay with and plus just to make it clear, I'm a degenerate gambler. So I'm definitely the type that will gamble on a guy like a Tyler Shuck and say I'll try you at 40 versus taking you in the first round. And because when you take a first round quarterback, you damn near have to start them. It's almost a guarantee. Taking a Tyler Shuck, it's a 50-50 chance. There haven't been many second round quarterbacks in the history of the league that have been, true ballers. They've got some, Drew being one of them, but they don't have it's not flooded with second round picks that have come out there and just like tore the league in half. That's not really it's more of an exception and not really the rule. So for me, yeah, I'll take a gamble on a second round pick and say, you know what, let's see what I have in you and
Maybe,
wait for a first round pick for the guy that I really want. So I mean, for me, looking at the 2026, I love Sellers. I think he's gonna be a hell of a player. But I'd rather wait for Arch because to me, I'm not saying it just because he's from New Orleans and stuff like that, man. I watched Arch in high school at Newman, bruh. I'm gambling on the name alone, and I ain't gonna lie to you and tell you I'm not. There's something about that Manning pedigree, those quarterbacks. Don't get like Eli, 2 rings, Peyton, up there in the GOAT conversation. Think Arch is better than them both at the stage that he's entering. The only difference between Arch and them is that they got more playing time in college than Arch did, and Arch sitting down buying his time and waiting his time is only giving him more time to develop and learn the game. I, I'm 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 all in on Arch, bro. It's like I don't care if you want to march for Arch, if you want to do it, whatever you want to do. If you want to, let's go tanning for Manning. I don't care what you want to call it. Give me Arch Manning, bro, and I'm good, and I'll wait because I don't think he's coming out next year anyway.
I
So for me, I'll wait.
I guess I took the question as like if Shuck wasn't good this year. That's kind of how I was taking it. So but
Well,
maybe it's
well,
an either or.
he could still look decent, but our team still has a lot of holes. Like he could still look decent as a rookie. Like a lot of people are just making it seem like a rookie supposed to just look like Jaden Daniels and look like CJ Stroud out the gate. Like you might not look like that out the gate. You're gonna need time,
I
you're gonna need a team, but
I think
you
it's
know,
gonna be you got it. You finish. You finish.
well, yeah, like you're gonna need time, you're gonna need a team, you're gonna need to actually develop. And don't forget, Tyler Shuck been in the league. I mean, been in the college 7 years, but out those 7 years, he hasn't had a ton of real live snap experience. So he's coming in kind of raw, but a lot of people are just looking at him saying he has a lot of upside because he checks all the boxes. But I like I just said on Matt Moscona show, would you rather take a gamble on Tyler Shuck at 40, or would you rather take a gamble on Sellers or Cade at 3?
I'm gonna take, like I said, I'm gonna just on that question, and I'm gonna take Cade and Sellers. But
Okay.
I don't think that Shuck. What type of leash y'all think he gonna get? Because I think
And
he gonna get.
it's gonna be long as the last 15 minutes of church.
But I'm saying like what does he have to like if they picking in the top 3 next year and like it's a because he is 26. I can't give him kid gloves like I can give like a dude like Drake May or something like that. They picked in the top 4, but they wasn't taking a quarterback because
Penix 25, he got worse injuries than Shuck. I'm pretty sure they're gonna give him a long leash.
Penix played way more games still than Shuck in 6 years as opposed to him in 7.
Okay.
I think he got a long leash because Kellen Moore wanted him. It's not like this is a situation where Kellen Moore walked in, kind of like with Spence. Kellen Moore walked in, Spence is here. He's had some injuries. He's 27 years old, that type of thing, and you got to figure it all out. No, it's not that situation. Kellen Moore knew exactly what he wanted when he got Tyler Shuck. Because a month before the draft, you started seeing rumblings that all of a sudden this Tyler Shuck dude, man, is starting to get a whole lot of attention, and the Saints could potentially go trade up back into the first round and get him. And it wouldn't surprise nobody if they take him at 9. Like that's the type of stuff that started happening a month before the draft. This is Kellen Moore's dude. Because this is Kellen Moore's dude, he gonna have every opportunity to fail. Like that's just what it is. So for me, I'm like, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take the gamble on it because I don't think he has a short leash at all. I think he can go out there and I'm not gonna say totally stink his ass off next year, but I think he can struggle next year, and they're gonna look at it and say he was a rookie. He was supposed to struggle. We have a team. We need to build it. They're gonna give him every excuse. Then in 2026, you'll see what he does then. So let's say the Saints win 5 games next year. And then the following year they win 5 games. I think at that point you're gonna be like, man, look, we ain't about to pass up on Arch Manning. We love Tyler, but we ain't about to pass up on Arch because now you look stupid for doing it. But to pass up on a Sellers or Cade or even what's the cat man that left Tennessee?
Oh,
Money, yeah,
Nico is
Nico,
ass,
yeah,
man.
Nico Montevideo. And I call him that because that boy is strictly about his money. He don't give a shit about the
Hey, them, hey,
about
them,
playing.
hey, them Polynesians, they don't let them trick y'all. All they care about that fucking money.
Yeah,
So
so that being said, bro, I'm like, man, like no, 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 no. I'm good with going. I think, in my opinion, I think, man, Tyler got 2 years. He got this year and he got next year. If he ain't getting it done by then, it's too late for him because now you're talking about a 29, damn that 30-year-old quarterback that still hasn't proven he can play in the league. Now
Yeah,
your clock is ticking. Now, don't get me wrong. I know quarterbacks are starting to play into their 40s. which is great. He won't get that opportunity with the Saints. He got 2 years to get it done, and if he don't get it done in 2 years, it's to the bench he goes.
I look at it similar to that. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go two, but it could be one depending. Like if they had the number one pick, bro, they probably taking a quarterback next year. Like number
I
one,
don't
number
know,
two
fam.
pick. Man, I'm not pass. I'm sorry, I can't pass up on that for no Tyler Shuck. I know people will like want Manning and all that. And again, I think the Saints will sell their soul to get Arch Manning here for because me personally, I know people say, stop hyping Arch. He ain't really do nothing yet. I think he gonna be good because I think he fit the way that the game is going. He's a six fold quarterback, 215 with an arm. It's not no rocket arm, but he has the mobility that's in now. Like he can run. Like unlike his uncles, he got athleticism with him, and so I think he fit the way that the game is heading. Like you got to have a quarterback that's willing to use his legs. So I mean, I think Arch is obviously different. Like they'll sell a soul for Arch, but I don't know if I'm at the. I guess we kind of got to let the year play out. But I guess I believe that much in like a Sellers or a Klubnik that like if they showed a lot next year, like a lot of growth next year, and we had the number one pick, man. I just think you got to take those guys. But that's
I,
just me.
I think if they get the number one pick next year, brother, and again, we all just speculating on this one, so ain't no right or wrong here. I think they
Yeah.
actually trade back for the first time. I think they'll trade one of these QB needy teams, and they'll gamble on the idea of if we suck and that team sucks, which they probably will if you got a rookie quarterback and you trading up, then more likely than not, it could be a Carolina situation to where you trade
Yeah.
up and you give away those picks, and now you know the Saints control the 2027 draft, so no, it's damn that guaranteed you taking Arch Manning at that point because now you
Yeah.
got the ammo to say, look, we'll give you whatever you want for
Like
Arch.
that's a good point, B. Because like I said, if we hide next year, I seen at the time McShay mock as soon as the draft was over and he had us taking Caleb Downs at two. I love Caleb Downs. I can't take him at two though, because I can't take a safety at two. But if we hide, we can do hypothetically what Cleveland did this year. If you feel like you want to bypass the quarterback, but you picking like two, three, you gotta trade back. That's my only thing. Like if we had two or three and they don't want to take a quarterback, I'm not taking another position player. I'm trading back because we got to get them 2027 assets because that draft got it's some dudes in that draft. It's multiple dudes in that draft. I would have took in the top 10 this year. That's how many dudes they got in that 27 draft. So
And that's
like
where
if you
I'm at
going
with it.
yeah, if we gonna pick in the top two, top three next year, like and you're not gonna take a quarterback, then you gotta trade back. You don't even gotta trade back. You don't gotta trade back 10 spots, but you gotta trade back to like in like the 5 through 7 range or something so you can get a
I
future
was I
first
was
round
thinking
pick.
nine. I was thinking nine is where you stop at next year too.
Yeah. Like you ain't trading out the top eight, top nine, but like you can trade back. If we had pick two, you can trade back 3 spots and get a first round pick next year. Jacksonville just did it, and that was for Travis Hunter. And next year,
Right.
teams gonna be doing that for a quarterback. They're gonna be doing that for quarterbacks next year. So the price is higher on the quarterback.
Exactly. That, and I think if that happens, now here we talked about it early on in the program, bro. We talking about the idea of the Saints have salary cap going into 2027. You got a young roster. You got your full allotment of draft picks, and you probably have a second first round pick that's probably going to be high in the draft. Like imagine if the Saints suck and they 5-12 this year, and they have a top five, a top 10 pick, and then also they trade, and trade a pick next year because they have a top five pick, and in 2027 you have a top 15 pick and you have a top five pick, man, there's no telling what you could do with that type of, with that type of ammo in the draft. Because if they trade next year's first and they in the top five, they're gonna get a first and they'll probably get another high draft pick as well. So we're talking about potentially a first and a second, or whatever like that, man, in 2027 to add to your first and second in 2027. If they really want Arch, they can go get him. If that's the thing,
Yeah.
and I ain't gonna lie, I gamble on it. I take
I,
the chance on Arch.
but I think they'll sell their soul for Arch.
Oh yeah,
Like I
yeah,
said,
brother.
that
I'm talking
I
about
don't. I think they'll
historic.
be slutty tanking. Like they'll start. I think the organization will get. I think the organization will get involved. Like it's some people. I had said it when we had signed Derek Carr. I was like, this all gonna lead because I thought Arch was gonna start playing last year because I thought Quinn Ewers was gonna actually potentially live up to his like rank and like so he would have left the year before. So I had anticipated Arch coming in 26. but that obviously most likely not gonna happen unless he has some type of Joe Burrow level year. But they a lot of the little kids. I had said something first about it in like 2022. Like I'm like the same when Andy Dalton was there, I'm like, all this shit gonna do is lead to Arch Manning in like 2026 or 2027. Like you, we 2 years potentially away from it. I can see it happening. Like it ain't no thing out of the question at this point. And they would do it because, like, bro, come on, like when they signed Tyler Shuck, they asking Arch Manning, how does it feel? And he's like, oh, we had him at the Manning Passing Academy. Like, the Manning still got a big voice in New Orleans and all that. They were still respected. Come on, nobody can wear number 8, and his jersey shouldn't be retired.
I personally think that us getting Arch Manning a pipe dream. No, that's just so. That's like something out of a Disney movie. Like no way we just gonna
We
get.
are the Titans, mighty Titans.
I would love the storyline. I would love it, but I just don't see that happening in our good fortune, man. Maybe I'm just so used to us being so unlucky, dog. Like we just had that one good luck with Drew Brees and Sean Payton for all them years, but I just don't see us being that lucky like the Packers. Packers had 4 generations of quarterbacks. I just don't see us being that lucky to have Drew Brees go to a little bit of stumble and then just get Archie Manning, the family member of one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, who just so happened to be from New Orleans, Peyton Manning. Like I just don't see that happening.
I think that's because, brother, you're looking at it as from a luck standpoint and not understanding that the Saints are just shitty. Like it's not like they really have a choice. I think that's more. I don't think
They
luck
gonna
is
be one of the
factoring
teams.
in.
They gonna be one of the teams in the. If you got an 8, if you starting off, you saying we looking at an 18 race. Like they gonna be one of the teams that's gonna get mentioned with
Yes,
this. You see it right
yes.
now. You see it right now, and they only we everybody think he going back. Everybody saying he gonna go back to school in 2027, but like you see it right now, like about potentially him being a Saints draft pick and putting him in mock drafts already for 2026. Even though most people saying he going back, he gonna do 2 years in school.
He don't need the money. It ain't like he need the money. He can do a second year if he wants
Man,
to.
I know you
I
don't
think
need the
I think if
money.
you win a if you win a championship this year, things change. But I
Yeah,
think
like
if
that's what
they
I'm.
just yeah,
Texas got that level of team kind of where like they can win a championship too because they got a
Man,
lot of good players on that team.
y'all gonna have
Like
me
if
watch college this year, bro. Y'all gonna have me watch college
no,
because
no,
I'm watching. I'm
hey,
watch.
B,
I'm not only gonna watch. I'm not only gonna watch. What his name
uh,
is Arch. I'm gonna watch Nuss because a lot of people still high on Nuss, especially with us having his dad as the offensive coordinator right now. A lot of people still high on him, and I know you one of them people, Marlon.
yeah, I
I,
like them. I like them too. I like Sellers. Like I'm not one of them fans that's gonna be biased to where I'm just always unless I just believe in that player like that. Like certain LSU players, like Derek Stingley in college, his first year, I don't give a shit if he got hurt, if he didn't play the next 2 years, which he really didn't. I know what I seen as a freshman, and I knew what he was as a prospect. I could tell you that he was gonna be within 3 years, he was gonna be the first or second best corner in the league. Jamar Chase, same thing. Like I like Nuss. I think he's gonna be good, but I don't like Nuss more than I like Sellers. I don't like Nuss more than I like Cade Klubnik. But I like him. I think he can be good though.
that's why I disagree. I'm not gonna say I think he's gonna be bad. I think he's gonna be mid. I think if you're talking about a a pick with it sounds like there's the potential to be a first round pick, but the reality is he's more of a third round pick. I think that's nuts. I think if anybody picks nuts now, we still got to see what he does during the season. But to me, he doesn't have all the components that make me believe he should be a first round pick. He's probably about 6'1", and
Yeah,
he doesn't have
he
like
more
yeah.
Spencer Rattler size.
Yeah, you don't have like the rocket cannon arm and stuff like that that make you be like, oh my God, wow, I can't believe he threw through 3 defenders and also made that on, that crossing that deep post pass. I don't see that out of Nuss. I think he's gonna look good. I think his daddy being with the Saints, definitely gives him a leg up in the idea of he shouldn't go undrafted. But I don't think Nuss is that dude. Like, if the Saints drafted next year, man, it would floor me, and especially if they drafted him early. Now, if you want to say he's a Spencer Rattler replacement, I got no problem with that. You want to tell me, if Jake Hayner was on the roster, he's replacing Jake Hayner? No problem with that. But if you're telling me Nuss is going to be drafted next year with eyes on him being the future quarterback of the New Orleans Saints, I tell you, man, go ahead on and cancel them season tickets. I'm talking about getting back. I don't
Yeah,
want them.
Yeah, Nuts got a Nuts a lightning rod. Either you love him or you don't like him. Like more like I said with the two that I was naming, like Klubnik, like Klubnik only 6'2", but Klubnik he played at the same high school as like Drew Brees, I think, and like that's that high level Texas football. Nuts from Texas too, but Klubnik was a sprint champion. Like Klubnik, we talking Klubnik probably like a better version of Bo Nix, probably.
Yeah,
So
I
and
can see
then you
that.
got with Sellers, we talking 6'3", 240. We talking like a I see some of the comparisons said he like a modern Donovan McNabb potentially.
I was gonna say modern Steve McNair. So I'm with you on that.
Something
I
it's
see.
something like that. It's like a modern
Yeah,
Donovan McNabb, Steve McNair. Like we talking 6'3", can throw probably anywhere on the field. He still got room to grow throwing, but like he got a high sack avoidance and he can run, and that's like he come in with one of the best like bodies in the NFL. Like this 6'3", 240 with no fat on the body. And he probably run a 4.4.
yeah. For me, man, I don't know, man. I can't see like
Yeah.
when I look at Nuss, like maybe it's I was too close, so maybe I'm too deep into the forest to see the trees. But when I
Yeah.
look at Nuss, I don't see the same thing I saw from previous LSU. Like I've said this before. When you saw Jaden Daniels play, you mentioned it just now when you saw Jamar Chase and when you saw Justin Jefferson. Like you see some of these dudes, man, and Stingley, you automatically you see it. You may not know it's gonna be what you think it is later on, but you can say, you know what, I saw that coming. We saw Jaden Daniels coming. We saw Joe Burrow coming because we were able to look at it and identify it and be like, you know what, man, you just give that boy a little bit of time and he is going to be an animal. Same thing with a Mahomes. Like you see something Lamar, even before the massages and all of that shit, man. Deshaun
With
Watson, you
Watson,
saw
yeah.
it. You saw it coming. With Nuss, I don't see it coming, bro. And maybe I'm wrong for it. Maybe I'm too, like I said, I'm too deep in
I
the forest to see the trees.
I get it. Cause I see this is my thing with like on a Nuts particularly like you watch that you probably seen that Texas A&M game last year. That first half of that A&M
Yeah,
game would have got him drafted number 1,
yeah,
even over like
yeah.
Cam Ward. That was
And
the
all of a
best because
sudden the
everybody
bottom drops out.
A&M defense, them NFL players all over that defense because them dudes in the secondary ain't even come out. So
Yeah.
it's dudes all over that defense. His half, his first half against A&M, I don't think Cam Ward played a half better than that this year. But that second half is like that's the shit right there that turn you off. Like cause it's so bad. And then he got like he a 6'1". He the thing is, a lot of them quarterbacks this year, like even Cam Ward, obviously a way better version. A lot of them dudes kind of resemble that Rattler like play style. Like they had that play style like that. They throw off the arm angles. They not big guys. They not athletic. And he kind of in that mode of a 6'1" guy. He throw them arm angles. He got a good arm for his size, but he don't got no Josh Allen arm. But like he don't have like a other than that, like he don't have like no special trait where like them other dudes got, so you probably want him to be even better, and then he got like a bozo gene with it, which make it worse. That's Cam Ward used
I'm
to
gonna
have
use
it,
that.
but
I'm gonna
he
use
he
that bozo gene. I'm using that.
yeah, a lot of people got the bozo gene, man. It's just who can overcome it.
All right, so granted everything that happened, there's news with Derek Carr, the news with Tyler Shuck, the news with Spence Rattler. Would we have been in better position if we just went on ahead and drafted Shadur Sanders, especially for the value that he went 144 overall? If we could have just got him anywhere before that, you know,
To,
but
to
just
me,
not in the first round.
I'm gonna say it depends on who they would have picked. Like the Saints still have needs that we can clearly see right now. We talked about it, during the program. They still need a big body wide receiver, maybe even two of them. You still need a tight end, maybe even two of them. So
Mhm.
you probably could have used it on a premier pass rusher. Somebody like that. Maybe you take an additional safety here and there. So to me, it depends on who they would have taken at that spot, and that's what we'll never know. But it kind of goes alongside that. If you would have took instead of taking Tyler Shuck or whatever like that, let's say you would have took one of the guys falls into the second round or something like that. You take one of the dudes that you really like, and now you got a pass rusher, or you got a wide receiver or somebody like that, man. Like, okay, now you can sit down and say, I can use Spence this year, and next year I can build from there. So now you can look at it and kind of compare. But that's why, and you take a Shador Sanders in a fourth, fifth round. Now you kind of basically saying, I got a better version of Spence Rattler right now. I got a more accurate passer coming in, somebody that can, learn my offense. He's not gonna wow you with athleticism, but with his smarts and his intangibles, he's going to be there for me. And I think that's what it really comes down to. What else would you have gotten if you didn't take Tyler Shough at 40? Could you, and you take Shador Sanders at maybe, 145, 153, something like that. If you take Shador Sanders that late, okay, cool. And you got your wide receiver earlier, now you can gamble on that. But because they didn't, we'll never be able to tell. And who knows? Maybe, just maybe, Tyler Shough is a better quarterback. Maybe he is. I don't know. I don't see it when I look at film on it. But maybe he turns out to be. Maybe Kellen Moore can work some kind of magic, and Tyler Shough look like the best quarterback in his draft. Maybe that happens. Or maybe you go up regretting that maybe I should have went got that 6'4", 6'3", 6'5" wide receiver, and I'd be in better shape right now.
Now, all I'm gonna say is a lot of people in the Who Dat Nation, they take Nick Underhill word as gospel. Whatever Nick Underhill says, it is gospel, came straight from the Lord's mouth onto earth. But when it comes to Tyler Shough, a lot of people love Louis Riddick. They want him to be our GM. I think I'm saying the name right.
Yeah, it's him, Louis Riddick.
He is very bullish on Tyler Shough. Very bullish on him. I'm talking about this dude beat the table for him, defending him for the those clips they had going around when he was in
at Louisville, when he basically just threw the ball up and he kind of pulled Aaron Brooks.
That clip, and also the clip where he was doing the
combine.
At the combine.
Yeah.
But he was really just trying something. Like that wasn't just him throwing the ball. He was just trying something. That's what Lewis said. He's very high on the kid. A lot of people love Lewis. A lot of people just want him to be our GM so bad. I don't know what ties he got to the Saints to even make him even have that job position. Maybe that could be my next question for you guys. Why are people so hammered on this guy being the next Saints GM? But not only him, but Drew Brees. And it was another Saints, not Saints. It was another YouTube channel that I was following. This dude just covered the draft, and he just watched a lot of film on guys. And he just one of them draft nerds, one of them college nerds who just do evaluations on players. This was 10, 11 months ago. This dude had Tyler Shough as the #1 quarterback in the entire draft over Shador Sanders and Cam Ward. And he do this every year. I forgot his name. I forgot his channel. I did retweet it on my Twitter not too long ago, but he had him as his #1 quarterback. Now, I ain't saying just because all these guys are saying this dude is gonna pan out. We don't know what's gonna happen. But if you like to listen to what a Drew Brees says, which I feel like Drew Brees gonna say anything just to have fans calm. He remember what he said about Derek Carr. Look how that turned out. But at the end of the day, if you kind of trust these guys, then I'm liking what I'm hearing. What y'all got to say about that?
Look, man, I think this, bro. Like, I don't want to see the kid fail, bro. Like, and I think when you look at him, well, let me not say kid. I don't want to see the young man fail.
He's a grown ass man. He's about to be 26, damn near 30. Nigga, you look 30.
Nigga, you look 30. That being said, bro, I don't want to see bro fail. And I think that he has all the intangibles there. Now, the injuries scare me. I'm not going to say that they don't, because many people will be like, well, you look past the injuries because they were just broken bones. Bro, you play football. Broken bones are bound to happen. So to me, I'm like, yes, I'm going to look at the fact that he broke his bone twice because I'm looking at how he did it. Like, I'm not going to just exclude it just because you want to tell me, well, if you take that away, no, that's a part of the story. I need that in the story because that's why he's been in college for as long as he's been. That's why he's a 26, damn near 27-year-old quarterback coming in, because that's a part of his story. But I will say that he does have a lot of what I think or NFL qualities. He does have the NFL size. He does have NFL accuracy. He does have the NFL, arm strength and things like that. So he has a lot of things going for him. The problem is, even though he's mature, he's inexperienced, and even though he's had freak injuries, if you want to call him that, he's still injury prone. So because of these things, I'm not gonna say I think he's gonna suck, but I also and plus, when you look at the team, I think the team around him isn't that great to begin with. So I think when you add all these factors in, man, I think he has the ability to be good.
They
He has
can't
the
master.
ability.
They can't
Yeah,
master.
he
You can't hide
yeah
They
what it is,
did
bro.
a Brock Purdy
he
or
he got
Colin
like
Kaepernick.
a like to be point, dude, like we can't really say a dude like those injuries still happen. The two collarbone injuries did happen. The broken leg did happen. Like he doesn't have a lot of starts, even though he's going to be 26 within his first month in the NFL, like in the regular season. Like that's kind of like the things you knock him. Now he do got qualities. He's a 6'5" quarterback. He runs a 4.63. So he has and his old tape, not the tape this year, because he was trying to get to the NFL, so they didn't want him running the ball as much. But like does show his old tape does show that like he can move with the ball, but like he did get hurt running as well. But like I guess my thing on him is he has like these stats against the blitz. Like I know they bring up pressure to sack ratio and all that. Like Jaden Daniels had a high pressure to sack ratio, but we can watch in the NFL, and he got himself sacked a lot in the NFL this year. But I can watch in the NFL, he's not scared of shit. When you blitz him, yeah, you might sack him, but he gonna come back and he gonna make a play on you on third or fourth down. Like if you got pressure in Tyler Shuck face, the pressure to sack ratio was high because if you got pressure on him, he was throwing the ball away. He had the highest throwaway rate. I don't think this is my personal opinion. I don't think you can fix that for a 26-year-old quarterback that don't even have a lot of college starts in 7 years. That's so I don't think he can overcome that, and that's why I just view him as a guy that can be a spot starter, high level backup. But again, I can end up being wrong. I'm not rooting against the kid or the grown man because he is 26. But I'm not rooting against him. The only way I was gonna root against anybody playing for the Saints this year is if Derek Carr was getting starts. But I like I said, he can prove me wrong. But that's just my overall opinion on it so far is I don't know how you can overcome the issue of like basically if you blitzed him, the play was over. I just don't see how that's gonna change the NFL. And then we don't have the talent overall to surround it. Like you gotta pray that Olave stays healthy and doesn't get a concussion. Like Shaheed, we don't speak on his injury history. He came into the league with a bad knee. He got hurt with the quad in 2023, missed like 3 games. Then last year he tore the knee again, or tore the meniscus in the knee again. Like so, it's more than just Olave got to stay healthy. AK missed 25% of the games a year since Breeze retired. Like then you got issues on the offensive line. Eric McCoy got a soft tissue injury 3 out of 4 years, and we seen what happened when he don't play games. So I don't know if he got everything around him to be the long term guy, but again, we could be wrong. And I know what I feel. I don't think he'll be able to overcome is that the issue against the blitz because you're gonna get pressured in the NFL, and if you couldn't handle it in college and you was panicking, then I'm not going to expect it to get better in the NFL if I didn't see it good even in college.
Yeah, that's one thing I give Spence credit for, man. Spence will stare down the barrel and take a mean ass hit, but he gonna deliver that
Yeah.
football. I don't see that with Tyler.
If Spence, if let me see what's the guy named Shuck. If Shuck wasn't like fearful of pressure like Spence, I'd be feeling like we might have something. But I don't know if you can I don't know if you can get that out of somebody. Either you scared of pressure or you not. We seen it with Derek Carr. Derek Carr didn't get sacked a lot. But if you got pressure on Derek Carr, the play was over.
Yeah, he
I
does have
don't
a
know.
lot of that quality.
It sound like we got Derek Carr and Baker Mayfield on our team, and I think a lot of people are at a bit Baker Mayfield when it come to Shuck and Rattler. But If y'all like the stream, go ahead on and hit the like button. Go ahead on and subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you're liking the content from Marlon, you liking the content from B. If you got some questions from Marlon or B, go ahead on and put them down in the chat. We're gonna get to them as soon as possible. Put y'all questions down in the chat. I'm gonna get ready to let these guys go soon. So go ahead on and put y'all questions down in the chat. Anything y'all want to ask these guys about the Saints, and we're gonna go through them rapid firely. And Marlon and B, what I got to ask y'all is, why are the Who That Nation so enamored with this guy Louis Riddick? Like, why do they want him to be our GM so bad? Like, does he have any ties to the Saints? Like, what's going on with that relationship with this fan base and this guy Louis Riddick?
I think I'll go first, B. I'll go first.
Mhm.
I think you know, watching football, he's been on ESPN a long time. So fans gonna be familiar with him. Um, I think he played in the league. He played in the league for like 7 years. He was a safety, and then he was in the front office with like Philly and Washington in like the mid 2000s to like 2013, or like whenever Andy Reid got let go and like Philly just like completely restarted. But and then like just getting the familiarity with the guy, being on TV. I mean, one thing I will give Louis Riddick is he was the first person that was really on Mahomes like that. When people was like, "Man, why you gonna draft the Texas Tech quarterback?" I don't know if B remembered LSU played Texas Tech. You can see the talent in Mahomes at like in 2015. You knew that he might be a little different of them Texas Tech quarterbacks, but they still had that stigma on him. And like whatchamacallit was like, Louis Riddick was like, man, look, this dude is a good quarterback. He's raw, but like he got everything you want in a quarterback. And I think that's like part of the reason why like a lot of fans might like him, and that really got him popping at ESPN. But I just think it's just the familiarity with him. If it was me personally, a guy like if we got a new GM, I'm looking at what they got in Los Angeles with the Rams. Like I want somebody from that market because I just like the way they built the team. They hitting on all they day three picks. Like I'm looking over there, but like I'm not against Louis Riddick.
I think he's brilliant, bro. I think he's a great football mind. I think it's kind of everything that Marlon said is the reason why, man. But I also think it's the idea of you see like some people when they speak, bro, you can look at it and you take it from like it's almost like whatever they said. You mentioned a moment ago when it comes to Nick. If Nick said it, you could damn near go to the bank with it because if for some strange reason he's about as dialed in as we've ever seen anybody when it comes. He's probably the only person I've seen this in sync with what's going on with the Saints. And to say Nick is an outsider, to a degree. I mean, he's a New Orleanian now, but Nick came in, from the Northeast and came down here and made whatever connection he had to make, and he has been damn near the voice of the Saints since he came in. And Louis Riddick is that on the national level. He is about as dialed in as it gets. And I think that lends to some credence. He has a great eye for talent. He can spot it. He's when you listen to him talk football, you can tell not only does he know what's going on, but he understands the game. Kind of like what we see with Tony Romo from a commentating point of view, to where you can look at the play and before it happens, Tony Romo will tell you what's about to happen. Well, Louis Riddick is some very similar to that nowadays, that he can look at it and tell you what exactly made that play successful. And you can tell that the dude just knows football. And I think the Saints need a fresh set of eyes. We've been having the same people in charge for the longest time, and it's almost like repeating your same mistakes over and over. Mickey Loomis has been a constant. And the problem with Mickey Loomis being a constant is that during the 2000 era, prior to Sean Payton, we saw what Mickey Loomis was. Then we saw what Mickey was during Sean Payton, when he had to take a step back and Sean was a de facto GM. And now we see Mickey Loomis back in the forefront trying to be the guy again, and it hasn't worked out very well. So it's an idea of we need somebody, some fresh eyes, a fresh voice, somebody that knows exactly what the hell is going on and how it's going on. We need somebody to step in and save this franchise. And many people believe, because of what Marlon said, because they can see it, they can touch it, and it's real to them. They can see that with Louis Riddick. I don't mind what Marlon said just now either. I don't mind going to the Rams well. I don't mind going to the San Francisco well. I don't mind, picking somebody like that and saying, look, we're going to take what's been successful. We're going to bring it here. I don't mind that at all. But if Louis Riddick is the pick, you will have no complaints from me. But the problem is Mickey Loomis ain't going nowhere. And that's a
Mhm.
bigger issue. And I think because of that, all of the love in the world for Lewis Riddick ain't gonna mean a damn thing because Mickey gonna be right there chewing gum and snorting coke.
All right. If y'all like the stream, go ahead on it. Hit the like button. Go ahead on the sub if you're not subscribing. If you got any questions for Marlon, if you got any questions for B, go ahead on and put them down in the chat before I let these guys get up out of here, man. It's about to be Mother's Day tomorrow, and I don't want keep these guys too much longer. We got Jerry G with the first question. He said, "Now post Derek Carr retired, who will be the true quarterback one for the 2025 NFL season?"
It's gonna be Tyler, man.
Oh, I said Shuck. I said Shuck.
Yeah, it's the same. It's Tyler, man. Tyler gonna get every opportunity to start, and it makes sense that if that's Kellen Moore's guy, let him roll with his guy. Clint Kubiak was tied to Spencer, and I think Spencer, like I said, unless Shuck goes out there and absolutely bombs, then I think he's gonna get every opportunity to fail. He'll take his growing pains. They're gonna live with it or whatever like that, and they'll just worry about the 2026 draft when it comes to that time. But I think that Tyler's the guy. Shuck
All
it.
right. Nuck if you shuck, baby, we out here. We got Michael Morgan. He says, "Why take Banks, a great left tackle, in his 3 years at Texas?" Y'all gotta excuse me. My little sliz. I done took about 4 shots dedicated to Derek Carr departure. I'm about to take 5 right now. So y'all gotta excuse me. I'm a little sliz, but we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it. Let me replay it. Michael Morgan says, "Why take Banks, a great left tackle, his 3 years at Texas at 9 pick to move to guard? Shit makes no sense. Why draft a guard in the second round?"
In
I,
the
I,
first
I think
round.
I think no. I think what he meant was is that why not just draft the guard in the second round instead of taking a guard in the first round, which is what it looks like that Banks is going to be. I don't think that's a solidified spot just yet. What I think they're going to do is because Tyler plays so well on the left side. I think what they're going to do is mix and match. They don't know what they want to do with Penning just yet, and I think that's the bigger issue. So I think they're going to mix and match right now just to see how well Kelvin can play different spots in case they need him there. But I think when it's all said and done, week one when they line up, I think Bank gonna be on the left side, Tyler gonna be on the right side, and I think they're gonna plug and play somebody in that guard. If it's gonna be the cat they brought in from Tennessee, or if it's gonna be they're gonna try Penning like that. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get the best 5 offensive linemen on the field at the same time. And when you look when you listen to it, it sounds good in the idea of Taliesin Fuaga, left tackle, first round pick. Kelvin Banks, left guard, first round pick. Eric McCoy essentially was your first round pick, but he was a second round pick because the Saints didn't have a first round pick that year. So you talk about, and then you go to Cesar Ruiz, first round pick, Trevor Penning, first round pick. That's when they do those ESPN lineups and those Monday Night Football lineups. That's what the Saints want to be able to say because when Louis Riddick comes on ESPN and he's talking his shit and he's doing everything to say that he wants that the Saints want him to be able to say. And I mean, just look at the Saints offensive line. It's flooded with first and second round picks. Look at this. You've got Fuaga and you've got Banks and you've got McCoy and Ruiz and Penning and all of them first and second round. They want to be able to say that shit. But at some point, I think it's gonna all even out, and they'll have Banks on the left side, Fuaga on the right side, and they'll figure out the left guard spot how they can.
Yeah, I got like a if that's the route that they go like that, I mean that's cool. If it can be Banks left, Fuaga right. Uh Me personally, I just feel like I guess I'm not a Trevor Penning fan at all. That draft pick and that trade right there was the shit that broke me. Like I've been flipped the switch on like them because you don't make that trade when you got those type of quarterbacks. And that dude, if you watch the tape, it was all RAS score and him simply being big because he don't even play up to his RAS score. Proof against competition that matched up. You gonna look like that when you playing at Northern Iowa against fucking 220-pound defensive ends, but like I was never for that pick. But the dude, he's simply just not a good player. You drafted a pure right tackle last year that was a substantially better prospect and a player last year than Penny. You drafted a substantially better prospect that plays left tackle this year in the top 10. So you took a guy in the top 15, you took a guy in the top 10, and then you declined this guy's option because first of all, his option never should have been it shouldn't have been accepted anyway because he's never done anything. to show you that he should be playing. He should be making $16 million a year if you had picked it up for 2026. So, in my opinion, you gotta like. I think the two most important assets on the team is Banks one, Fuaga two. The team, I'm building through my tackles. I'm not playing with their position. They gonna play. Banks gonna go to the left. Fuaga gonna go to the right, and they gonna get their growing pains and lumps, and they gonna take their growing pains and lumps. But that's how my team gonna be built. I'm not even gonna get Trevor Penning the opportunity to trick them like Cesar Ruiz did in 2022 when he played average, not good, just simply average, and they gave him another contract, which they shouldn't have gave him. I'm look, either you gonna play swing tackle, either you gonna slide into this left guard position, or you gonna be a swing tackle. Mekhi Becton, big as hell, and he just did it. I don't think Trevor Penning can't do it. I just don't think he a tackle. I don't think he should be a tackle on this team when you took two prospects in a row that's way better than him.
Yeah, I think the Saints kind of telegraphed the move that they're not really happy with Penning, and I personally don't think he can play guard. But even with that being said, I'll say it like this: I'll say that I wouldn't be shocked to see them, go out there and tinker with the offensive line. But keep in mind this, for the person that asked the question, it's rookie minicamp. It ain't like they got Fuaga out there and Penning out there anyway right now, so they kind of gotta play, Banks at multiple spots because it's not like they can say, you know what, well, we just gonna keep him at left tackle the whole time. They have to kind of cross train him right now because the rest of the veterans not out there, and it's the perfect time to experiment because when the veterans get out there, it's all gas, no brakes.
Yeah, the vet's out there with them in like a week and a half or two.
Yeah, for
So
OTAs, when minicamp and OTAs roll around, that now if he's still out there floating around, okay, now it's starting to look like a bit of a problem.
Yeah, because that boy was getting blessed by Chase Young last year. I remember Chase Young was pancaking them, just rolling right past them. But I do think he better than Landon Young. I would say that. Like to me, last year I didn't have that much of a problem with Trevor Penning last year. And on top of that, he was the only healthy one, But
I
that
think
just me.
I think if the best attribute you can say about somebody is that they were healthy, then that's the problem. And if you and
that's
the second
and
if the
that's
second best compliment you could give him is well, he was better than Landon Young, that's the problem.
yeah.
Well,
That's
I'm
truly
just
what I
saying
think it is.
for depth purposes. Over the years, we've been seeing this team year after year, offensive line being shambles due to injury. So when we selected a left tackle, that's in a lot of people's eyes one of the best offensive linemen or the second best offensive lineman in this entire draft, get mad. It's like, okay, why you get mad when we got the first or second best offensive lineman? We can't even stay healthy on offensive line. We need depth on here. So not only we added depth, we added a true bona fide starter who could potentially be a Pro Bowler, maybe even at best just a good ass starter. If he just that good, maybe a Hall of Famer. Who knows? But if we got a guy like Trevor Penning as a swing tackle, that's good with me. Because we're gonna need depth if one of these guys like a Fuaga or a Banks get injured. Like we've been seeing this offensive line just be desiderated. I don't even know if that's a word. I'm gonna list Liz. Y'all gotta forgive me. This is no cap, no filter. This is a different podcast over here. But at the end of the day, we've been getting just dismantled when it comes to the offensive line health. So I don't mind keeping Trevor Penning. Like, who knows, man? Tyler Shook might bring a different attitude to the team. And guys just respond to different guys in a better fashion. Like, I forgot what movie it was, but they was just the offensive line was just letting the quarterback get sacked. I think it was The Replacements or something like that. I forgot what it was, but the offensive line was just letting the quarterback get sacked, and I think that happened in real life. I don't think that was just fake. I think the offensive line respond to different quarterbacks in different fashion. The same with the receivers, the same with the tight ends, the same with the running backs. And I think if this Tyler Shough kid come in and he got moxie and he got, if he's a actual leader, I think they're going to block for him and they're going to try to protect him. Randy Major said that was the longest yard. Okay, well, it probably was the longest yard. So forgive me for saying The Replacements. I really liked that movie with Keanu Reeves. But yeah, man, I don't got a problem with Trevor Penning not getting his fifth round option yet, but him just being a death piece, like that's cool with me.
I mean, look, here's the thing with Penning, bro. It's the idea of if I'm who I say I am and I'm who I'm supposed to be, then I don't have to worry about nobody else. The problem is that if you keep bringing in somebody to replace me, clearly there's a problem here. And I think year number one, you bring in Fuaga. Year number two, you bring in Banks. At some point, I'm starting to see the writing on the wall here. There's something you don't like me. And I think that's what's going on with Penning. It's like you brought in Fuaga, you bring in Banks, and Penning just sitting there like, I'm a first round pick too. Yeah, you are, but you won't be here very long if for Mickey Loomis to basically come out and smile, because he, off a couple of that, Peruvian lines, he come out there smile, chewing his damn gum, and tell you, you know what, I got a caveat for you guys. We're gonna pick up Chris Olave's fifth year option, but we're not gonna pick up Trevor Penning's. Like, if he come out there saying this shit, trying and all of this nonsense for no damn reason, that tells me everything I need. But we still love Trevor. Yeah, I can see the love you got for him. But what's love got to do with it?
Mm. Eat that cake, anime. But the stream been going on for an hour and 30 minutes. I'm gonna get ready to let you guys go in a few. If y'all got any questions for Brian or Marlon, go ahead on and ask them right now, because I got like one more question before I let them go. We talked about that team that we love, but just be always breaking our hearts. But let's talk about this team right across the street before we get up out of here, man. I seen Marlon, you had a tweet. I think I'm paraphrasing right here. I think you tweeted this. I'm a little sliz once again, but I think you tweeted something along the lines of, "Yeah, man, they fired Dennis Allen. They Derek Carr have retired. Shit, if they fire Mickey Loomis, I'm gonna fuck around and start lying like Homer Q." Hey, can y'all see Willie Green being yanked next? Like, can he get yanked next? And will we get Cooper Flag and restore New Orleans sports? Like, can this possibly happen? And I'm also hearing they're gonna let Zion do the pick.
Yeah, Zion gonna be there. He gonna be the one announcing, well, being in the seat for the pick. Go ahead, Marlon. I ain't gonna see nothing, brother. Go ahead.
No, I'll let you go, B. But my Pelicans fandom on hold. I kind of left because I can't support that shit no more. If they get Cooper Flag though, or even the pick two, I'll be back.
Nah.
But man, I don't firing Griff just to bring in old ass Joe Dumars, who ain't been good since who ain't filled a good team since I was in fifth grade or out of fifth grade in 2008. I just can't do it. So I just walk away. But if they get
Thanks for
Cooper
making me
Flag,
feel.
I'll be
Thanks
back.
for thanks for making me feel old, saying you was in the fifth grade in 2008. Thanks.
Well, shit, if you feel, imagine how I feel right now listening to that, man. But no, I'm gonna say it like this, bro. Like, a move had to be made when it came to Griff. So kudos on making the move to get rid of Griff. The problem is, it's almost like out of the frying pan into the fire. Because Joe Dumars, the reason why Joe got that job is because him and Mickey Loomis is like close friends. So you basically you got rid of Griff and you hired one of Mickey's best friends. And I don't really know if that's working out well, for the Saints, but you having Mickey in charge. Now you just basically put a black Mickey in charge of the Pelicans. That being said, I think it's time for Willie Green to go, but I think Willie Green might get 1 year under Joe Dumars, because right now, who are you going to get to replace Willie Green with that you can really say, you know what? Not at unless you're going Mike Malone or somebody like that. If you're going to pay Mike Malone or somebody to come through, you're supposed to fire Willie Green, because of course Mike Malone is a much better coach. You're supposed to do that, but it doesn't look like that's in the cards. Now, mind you, maybe it depends on what happens in the draft. We'll see what happens with Willie Green. If they get the number one pick in the draft, that makes the Pelicans look all the more enticing, and maybe you can get Mike Malone to come right now. As currently constructed, with Zion missing games, you got Murray, could potentially miss the beginning of the season because when he got that Achilles tail. It's like you got Herb Jones coming off the men. Like, the Pelicans are a mass unit. So, as of right now, one of the key things Kellen Moore did when he was hired was he went and got the strength and conditioning coach from Philly to come over here and basically be, a super healer. The Pelicans need that too. Now they tried that once before when they went and got the dude for Phoenix, but then they screwed that one all the way up. So if that's what you're going to do, hire a new dude and have him bring in a new medical team, get rid of Oshner, bring in better doctors. Okay, maybe it works. But if you're not, man, then you might as well just let Willie Green walk his confused looking ass out there and fuck it all up all over again because I have no faith. And I say no faith, I have no faith in Willie Green. He is the black Dennis Allen. And I think, until Willie Green is gone, the Pelicans gonna keep suffering the same fate because they don't want to play for him. They like Willie as a person. They know he can't coach worth the shit. And James Borrega about to leave too. So you about to lose James Borrega. If you're gonna lose Borrega, that's supposed to be the dude to crank up your offense. Now you got to go back to Willie Green's sorry ass offense. So you got two choices. You can go get Taylor Jenkins and have him coach the team who was in Memphis and try to and go from there, or you can go get Mike Malone. But they're gonna need guarantees that they got at least something to work with here. And I don't think they do outside of Zion. And Zion hasn't proven he can stay healthy for a full season. So if I'm those guys, I'm like, man, I'm gonna sit back. I'm getting paid, 15, 10, 10 to 15 million from the teams I was coaching with. I'm gonna sit back and wait until a better opportunity come along because I'm not gonna put my stake in Zion being healthy or you being able to build a winner here when damn near the whole team is hurt. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to be able to say I think Willie Green will be fired. I just think it depends on who's available, and I don't see anybody available that's going to want to take the job unless the Pelicans get the first pick, and they have guarantees that they can bring in a new medical staff.
Yeah, I think the only way I think Willie the coach at least for next year, unless they get like you said, unless they get the number one pick. Because if I get the number one pick, the franchise player, even if Zion stay on the team, the franchise player is Cooper Flag if you get the number one
Facts,
pick.
facts.
So I'm trying to do everything opposite of the way we botched the Zion thing so far. Because I don't want to be. You can't have two disasters. Again, I don't think the NBA ever gonna reward us with number one pick again. But you never know what can happen. But just do the opposite of what happened the Zion thing
Not
with the
only
Zion thing.
did they box the Zion thing, they boxed the Anthony Davis, Andrew Holiday trades right now. You can't have all them picks and still come out like the way you did, man. Like
But
I
hey,
like DeJounte Murray, but they would have
I
did better
know,
going and get Trey Young.
but I ain't gonna lie. They far as that Bucks thing, hey, they got lucky with that because
Yeah, they got lucky
Griff
that the Bucks
Griff did a
swapped.
lot of
Yeah,
dumb shit, but man, he got them picks right at the right time.
yeah, because the
Especially
Bucks look like they about to tank.
with this new CBA, you control their drafts for 3 years. They ain't not playing.
Dame
They
not
gotta
playing, and
trade.
Giannis may leave.
Yeah, Giannis. If Giannis asks for a trade, they not getting a player close to Giannis. Giannis still the second best player in basketball.
I think Giannis gonna
So
end up in San Antonio, and that's what I'm afraid of.
you think San Antonio?
I think he might end up in San Antonio or Houston, but I feel like it's gonna be the Southwest Division. I don't think he's going to Dallas because Dallas don't have the pieces to
Oh
get
no,
him, and you can't trade.
Dallas
Yeah,
don't got nothing.
yeah, you don't have. But I think Houston and I think San Antonio have the pieces to give them to get Giannis, and that scares the shit out of me because you put Giannis and Wemby together, and what the hell you gonna do with that?
Nobody ever scoring on them.
I
Not in
mean
the
that's
paint.
just not that yeah that's unfair right there, man. So I think either Giannis or going to San Antonio, Houston. Now, I know he said L.A., New York. I think that'd be all fucking big media driven because they want everybody to go to L.A., New York.
Yeah.
So I
And
ain't
to be
buying that
honest with
shit.
you, with basketball now, man, you don't even need to be in the big markets like that. We got
Not
social
if you
media.
Giannis.
Shit.
Not if you Giannis, because
Giannis,
Giannis already was in Milwaukee and he was a megastar. He don't need to be in
yeah.
them big markets.
Shit.
And, and
Shea Gillis Alexander about to win MVP in Oklahoma City. Like, you don't
that's
gotta be in a
exactly the
big
point, man.
market.
Not at all, bro. Like Jokic, like, look, I love being in Denver, but Denver is a big city, but it's not a big city. It's like when people don't think of Denver like that, they really don't. And I know because we was the gateway to the West. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had St. Louis and all that, which they call the gateway to the West. But I mean, like Denver is like the linchpin because
Yeah.
when you think of Denver, you think of Midwest, Mountain West, and stuff like that. You don't think of like West Coast Cali type vibe because there's nothing out there. Like Denver's a beautiful city, but it's boring as shit.
All right, this the podcast I mentioned earlier. Keeping it real, Who That Sports podcast. If y'all a Saints fan, y'all could go follow them and check them out. My boy Dolph be doing some good work over there. He says, "Do you guys believe that the Saints need to add a veteran quarterback?"
I'm gonna answer this one, bro, and then I'm gonna dip out because my wife to hit the lights. So that kind of like when you was a kid and the street lights came on, you had to get inside. I got
Yeah.
that same bat signal just now, so I'm gonna answer this one and I'm gonna dip.
Well, go
I
ahead.
do.
Go ahead on
I
it. Go ahead on it. Answer it. Leave your Twitter where they can find you, and also just give a like what should Saints fans expect for this upcoming season? Like your last thoughts on everything that went down today, and then
all
y'all
right,
you can
bet.
just go ahead.
So first and foremost, not only do I think the Saints need to, I think they will sign a veteran. I think Jake Hayner is on thin ice right now. Although Kellen Moore said that he's going to get an opportunity to fight for the starting job, that's BS. He's not. It's going to be Tyler as number one. Spence will be number two slash number three because if Spence is listed as number two, he's still really going to be the third quarterback on the depth chart because the veteran going to come in if something happens and Tyler has to come out the game. So I think that's the way that's going to play out. The depth chart going to look different than the actual game, kind of like we saw last year with Dennis Allen when Spencer was the number three quarterback, but when Derek got hurt, that's who went in first. So I think it's going to be a similar situation to that. So yes, I do think they'll bring in a quarterback. They're probably going to wait till the veterans get cut. If it's Jameis, I'm good with that. More likely than not, it's going to be a Teddy Bridgewater, Gardner Minshew type of dude. So, I think that's how we'll see that play out. But yes, I think they will bring in a veteran. I don't think they're just gonna go with these all three of these young dudes who technically none of them have enough NFL starts to qualify for a full season if they combine them. So
Hmm.
no, I think they'll bring in. I think they're definitely bringing in a vet. As far as where you can find me at, man, I'm not gonna say I'm on Twitter, but I'm on Twitter. I'll sparingly be on there when my wife gives me permission to do so. And you can find me at Battle Rap Bets, all one word, BATTLERAPBETS. So you can find me Battle Rap Bets, or just type in M.O.N.E.Y, and you'll be able to pull me up. And as far as my thoughts on the upcoming Saints season, man, I'm like, look, to be quite honest with you guys that are listening in, I don't really care if the Saints go 5-12, 12-5, or somewhere in between. It's not going to matter to me because the most important part of what the Saints needed to do has already begun. They needed to start this rebuild. So, and they have. There's dialing back on the salaries. They did so last year when they didn't just pass out a bunch of numbers. Derek Carr's gone, Dennis Allen is gone. They got a fresh start with the quarterback, fresh start with the head coach, fresh start with the defensive coordinator, new scheme coming in on defense as well. So we're gonna see a lot of things moving in the right direction for the Saints as long as Mickey Loomis doesn't get in the way and Mickey it up. And I think they'll be fine. So as far as what I'm looking for, to be honest with you, I just want the rebuild to continue. Just let these young guys go out there and play them as much as possible, and that way you can look forward to 2026 and 2027, where you can truly build a contender that's going to be able to put us back in a golden era. So, hopefully I was able to answer everything y'all was looking for. And if not, catch me on Twitter every now and again. I'll pop through. I'm probably gonna do a space. As the season gets closer, I'll do them maybe once every other week. When the season comes in, I'll probably do one post game, not necessarily after the game, maybe like the Monday after, the Tuesday after, one day after. That way, people have had a chance to digest what took place in the game, get their thoughts off, kind of formulate what they want to say, and I'll host a space every post game. So y'all look for your boy there, man, and we'll get at it.
All right, B. Thanks for coming in, man. Got to
Oh,
get
All
you
no,
right,
a break
B.
brother.
on the show soon.
That's what's up, brother. Just hit me up.
All right, for sure.
All right, bet.
All right, Marlon, I'm gonna go ahead on and let you go ahead on and speak your piece, man. Go ahead on and tell them where they can find you at, and go ahead on and give your last thoughts on the
The vet quarterback question.
oh yeah, that too, and give your
Uh,
last thoughts on the Saints upcoming season and just what you think of gonna transpire.
um, it's a lot of B point. Like obviously, like me personally, I don't think we're gonna be a good team this year. But knowing that we out the Derek Carr era, we looking towards the future, like I'm fine. Again, going 10-7 with Derek Carr wouldn't make me feel good because it's just an incentive to keep you in that era when you should be restarting. And we got the restart that we wanted. So I'm not upset at all. Um Again, I don't think we're gonna be necessarily a good team this year, but this is all about the future. So I'm worried about the future and the steps that we can make to be. I want to know how we gonna be good in 2027. I don't care about being good in 2025. As far as the vets, I do think that they'll try to bring in a guy like Teddy Bridgewater. I was confused on if he was a free agent because I didn't know if he had re-signed with Detroit or not, but he didn't. But I can see them bringing in the Teddy Bridgewater just to give like a give Shuck and even Rattler to a degree some type of vet presence. I don't think. Jake Hayner truthfully has that much longer on the Saints roster. So I can see them bringing in a Teddy Bridgewater, and he can be even B said that Bridgewater going before it. We don't. It could be the case if something happened, but I'm just looking at bringing in a vet presence for the young guys, to go along with the quarterbacks, the dudes that was former quarterbacks on the team as well. And other than that, man, for Saints fans, I just think we should all be happy and celebrate today. We got to finally we get to start fresh and get a new start, and that's critical. And other than that, y'all can find me on Twitter at It's Rainy Doe, ITSRAINEYDOE, and just giving a bunch of sports takes and stuff like that.
All right, before you go, Martin, go ahead on and answer 504 code question. It was for B originally, but you could go ahead on and answer it since he left. But before you answer that, Slim South 504, I think you're saying that you want just the young guys up in here, no veteran. I think a lot of teams want a veteran because it gives that veteran presence, like Marlon was just saying. They could get a different perspective when they hearing it from a player that's playing than from a coach, because
Yeah.
you could kind of relate to them more because they probably of your same age or near your same age, or probably just like a generation before you versus 3, 4, 5 generations before you. It's just like if Keenan Allen was to come to the Saints, Keenan Allen probably wouldn't do, no Michael Thomas things or not, or things that like that, but he could give a lot of good advice and show Rashid Shaheed and Chris Olave how to be a pro. Not saying that they don't know how to be a pro, but it just little gems they a player could give another player compared to a coach could give another
I
coach.
think that I think to your point on that, I think those players kind of like I think a lot of those players kind of set. Obviously, it's some little. I think Brandon Cook can kind of do that, but I think those players set with the
Yeah,
quarterbacks. These quarterbacks, like I know, again, I told you I think Shaheed is a more of an ideal three, and I think Chris is like a 1A. When you got Chris, it's a 1A 1B situation. Like Chris is like a Devontae Adams, Devontae Smith type of player. So I think those dudes set. With these quarterbacks, we don't really know anything about them. Like we haven't really seen them do anything and perform anything good. They'll need it way more than those guys. Like we not when we talk about bringing in a vet quarterback, we not talking about bringing in like a dude that can play. Like I'm not looking for a dude that can start games and play like like a hot Indianapolis. I know you probably not a big fan of the guy. I'm not a big fan. They brought in Daniel Jones. Dude, Daniel Jones is gonna play, like is gonna start 8 games in Indianapolis this year. We not asking for that. We just asking for like a vet type, like a Teddy Bridgewater that's gonna be a good mentor to the players. Cause like
that's
even
gonna
if
be
I don't think
a coach, but not a
yeah,
coach. A coach that could coach when the coach is not around. Make
yeah.
their job easier.
Another voice to the room for the guys. Again, I told you I don't believe that Spencer Rattler or Shuck is gonna be the long-term guy, but you wanna help the guys out. And if you can bring in a Teddy Bridgewater that's like a great professional, then you do it. Like a player who I wouldn't bring in. I know people gonna name him. I wouldn't bring in Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz known for like for how it ended in Philly, even in Indianapolis, where it's the alienation of teammates and like just kind of being jealous. Like you looking to bring in certain type of players, like a Teddy Bridgewater, like a perfect player to bring in.
All right, well, 504 Cole, I think he answered your question within his answer right there. You said, B, do you think Shuck for real saying all the right things, but do you see the dude as a long-term solution? Marlon, he's not really sold on Shuck yet, but the only person that could change Marlon mind is Shuck. And the only person that can change other people's mind who's not sold on is Shuck. So if he go out there and he balls out, then cool. We ain't gotta worry about having a void at the quarterback position. But if he go out there and he just stank it up, then this next quarterback draft supposed to be loaded with quarterbacks in the season after the this quarterback draft supposed to have maybe Arch Manning in it. So I think it's a win-win situation, man. Like we literally in some good standings right now. We got the $30 million back that we recoup for Carr. We still kept our first round draft pick. The next quarterback draft is heavy loaded. The quarterback draft after that is potentially going to have Arch Manning and whoever else in it. I think we in good standings right now. If we could just get rid of Mickey Loomis, or unless he just do a 360, I think we in very good standings. So I'm excited about the season. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, Marlon. I know you've been on the show. It's coming up on an hour and 50 minutes now. I'm gonna go ahead and let you tend to whatever you need to tend to. But thanks for joining the stream, man. You welcome back anytime.
I'll be back, man. The
All
schedule
right.
come out. The schedule come out this week, so never know.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna have to get into that schedule because it's one thing to see who we play, but when and where we play them, that's what really matters.
Yeah, I got to go to that Miami game, so that's in Miami. So that's the one I'm trying to go to. I'm just trying to see when and where it's at.
Oh shit, you know I work for the airport. I fly for free, so I could meet you there. All right, doing Marlon, man. Thanks for joining the stream, man. Get back with me whenever you want to come back, man.
I got you. Don't get too high off the Derek Carr thing.
All
But
right,
I'll be back on, man. Appreciate it.
all right. Okay, let me see. Shouts out to Brian. Shouts out to Marlon for joining the stream. Those guys don't have to do that, but you know, they come, man, and they well liked on the stream too. I must say that. Derek says, Slim, we need a veteran to help with youngest development. Yeah, that's basically what I was saying. We need to stay forever young. I mean, even if we got a quarterback, let's just say Shuck was 21 and Shuck was good. Shuck ain't gonna forever be 21. He's gonna get older. At some point, Shuck will be 29. At some point, Shuck will be 30. Like, let's just say he was good for 10 years, from 21 to 31. He's gonna get older. So you can't stay young forever, like the whole team young. You're gonna need that veteran presence some way, somehow. Slim, we don't need a veteran to start, but just a guy. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Derek. I hear you, but who's out there? Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater out there, Slim. He's coaching a high school football team, but at the same time, if he has an opportunity to take an NFL job, he's gonna go. I think he just took an NFL job not too long ago. So if he has an opportunity to go make some money for him and his family, he's going to go make that money and he'll get back to the high school whenever he get back to it. And also we got Jameis Winston. Like, you got to remember, Jameis Winston is in a quarterback room with Russell Wilson, Jackson Dart, and him, and Tommy DeVito. They might think Jameis Winston might be the odd man out and cut him. And if they cut him, they know Jameis Winston got so much fanfare in New Orleans that he could come to New Orleans and be in the quarterback room, and he could be that veteran presence to a Spence Rattler and a Tyler Shuck, like Jake Hayner. Well, Jake Hayner might be the odd man out if Jameis come, but yeah, you're gonna need that veteran presence. Because see, coaches like that, because when coach is not around, that veteran could help out the young buck, you know. It's almost like, you know, you having a babysitter within the house when you at the house, but when you in the other room, but you're not gone. So it's kind of like that. Let me see. Slim, I agree. No veteran at quarterback. Focus on young guys. If we 3-14 to continue to build. Yeah, 504 code. Yeah. I mean, we don't want this veteran to come in and start. It ain't like, let's just say we get a Kirk Cousins. We don't want Kirk Cousins to come up in here and start. We just want Kirk Cousins to come up in here and be like an extra coach in the film room, or, you know, while they, you know, throwing balls and taking reps and stuff in practice and things like that nature. You know, it's just like an extra coach. That's all that's it. That's all that is. The veteran quarterback market is dried up, waste of time and money, honestly. But these veterans, they're not going to get paid a lot of money. 504 core. It ain't like we gonna get them Derek Carr money. Like, they gonna just get a veteran minimum, and, you know, as a second or third string, and that's just gonna be that. It's not gonna be much anyway, you know. And plus, we got money now. We balling now. Derek Carr, should he retire? We recoup that 30 million. We're gonna give him 10. We recoup our 30. We good. Everybody, both parties walk away clean. So this was a hell of a stream, man. I dedicate this stream to Derek Carr retiring. We got that dark cloud over our head. We still need to get rid of Mickey Loomis, in my opinion. But other than that, man, we embarking on some uncharted territory right now. Like, we really about to go into this season with a first-time head coach, offensive genius, and a rookie quarterback that was taken as high as we had taken a quarterback since Archie Manning. So I'm excited. I'm very excited for this season because it's the unknown. When we had Dennis Allen and Derek Carr, that was the known. We knew these guys were losers, and they robbed me of my fanhood for 2.5 seasons. But now we don't know what can happen. And since we don't know what can happen, that leads me to have excitement. Jerry G says, great show. Shout out to you, Jerry, man. I seen you supporting all the Saints podcasts throughout the day. That's what's up, my brother. 504 Co says, who we going to sign? Gardner Minshew. I don't know if he's a free agent, but I wouldn't mind a Gardner Minshew. Just to have that veteran presence. But I'm gonna go ahead on and wrap things up right now, man. Y'all be safe. Y'all get y'all mom something good for Mother's Day. Take her to go see that Sinners movie. That's what I recommend. Make sure you get the IMAX ticket and make sure you stay for the post-credit scene. That's a very good movie. Take her out to eat, get us some flowers, maybe get us some perfume, and that's my Mother's Day recommendations for tomorrow. And y'all stay safe out there, and who that? It's a good time to be a Saints fan, man. National Saints holiday today. I'm already declaring it. May 10th and November 4th. The day that Derek Carr retired and the day that Dennis Allen got fired. We out here. Who that?